And the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments today on a pair of cases that could decide the future of affirmative action in higher education. Yahoo Finance's Alexis Keenan has the details. Alexis, affirmative action is something that's been debated for years, but these cases are significant.
Decades, right? So this is a big deal. There are two cases that the Supreme Court is listening to oral arguments from two different universities, as well as a challenger to this affirmative action law that we have right now in the United States. The action is brought by an organization called Students for Fair Admission, and along with a conservative activist who funds that group called, his name is Edward Blum. They're saying that both the Constitution and civil rights laws prohibit universities from considering race and ethnicity as a factor in college admissions. So the two respondents here are Harvard as well as the University of North Carolina. Those are the two groups that are having to stand up and defend their policies and the way that they admit college applicants. Now, in the University of North Carolina's case, that's a public university, and then Harvard on the other side is a private university. So that's why you're getting some different laws being applied here with the petitioner is saying that the University of North Carolina is violating the Constitution's 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause, which says all the laws have to be applied equally. But then Harvard's case, they're saying that Harvard is violating Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, and that bars organizations that take federal funds from using race as a discriminatory factor. So a little bit different argument there, but in the end, the judges are going to have to decide whether or not they're going to overturn just decades and decades of law that has permitted universities to go ahead and include race as a factor. And the arguments are already underway.
That would be significant. The Biden administration also filed a brief in support of the university. So what's the argument there?
Yeah, so you have the Biden administration, you have corporations, you have professors at universities, you have a lot of amicus briefs filed here, front of the court briefs, and they are proponents for the universities being able to continue using race as a factor. And we should also note that right now, Harvard is saying that 40% of universities in this country actually continue this practice and use race as a factor, not as the deciding factor. That's a big issue that the justices have already been asking questions about. But what the corporations, the Biden administration are saying is that if you take this away, if you take this fuel for diversity away at the university level, that then you're going to impact the corporate level as well as the federal level, and including the U.S. military. They say all of these institutions need diversity, and they're better by having this diversity, better equipped, more efficient, will impact U.S. business. And they say we need to get that in at the university level because that's from where we're recruiting for our future business leaders.
Oh, fascinating. We'll be watching. Alexis Keenan, thanks so much for joining us.